Morning students. Aluminum hydroxide. This one I give it as a homework. So how to write the chemical formula of aluminum hydroxide? So we know that first what is the first step? First you should write basic radical, then it should be followed by the acidic radical. So basic radical, then next step you should write the symbol of the basic radical. So aluminum hydroxide, OH minus. So Al. So this is the symbol of aluminum and hydroxide, OH. So this is the basic radical and this one is the acidic radical. So then what is the next step? You should write the valencies of basic radical as well as the acidic radical. So what is the valence of the aluminum? So it will comes in the look at that here group. Look at the periodic table here, group 13. So group 13 here aluminum come there. So in the last class I told that so these group elements have the valency 3. These group elements have the valency 3. Okay, so that's why aluminum is valency 3. Valency 3 plus. So you should write the valency on the top of the element. And hydroxide valency is, you should write in the bracket 1 minus. Now what is the next step? We have to cancel out the signs. So we have to neglect the signs while writing the chemical formula. So neglect the signs. Al3 OH1. So then what is the next step? You have to cross multiply their valencies. It means the valency of hydroxide comes to the below of the aluminum and valency of aluminum goes to the below of the hydroxide. So now you can write that formula of the aluminum hydroxide as AlOH thrice. You should write in the bracket. This is very important, students. If you write like this, OH3, that is wrong. So this is the wrong chemical formula of the aluminum hydroxide. That's why you should write in the bracket only for hydroxide OH. So AlOH thrice. So how to read that one? AlOH thrice. Aluminum hydroxide. So this is the chemical formula of the aluminum hydroxide. I think all of you understood this one. And go to the next one more. Zinc carbonate. So how to write the chemical formula of the zinc carbonate? So we know that first what is the first step? You should write the symbol of the basic radical zinc. Zn. So symbol is Zn. Carbonate. CO3 carbonate. CO3 is the acidic radical. Its formula is CO3. And the next step, what is the next step? You should write the valencies of these elements. So zinc valency is 2. So where you can see that? Here, zinc will come here. So these transition elements, these are called transition elements from group 3 to group 12. These are called transition elements. Their valence is always 2 only. So here when zinc will come, its valency 2. Now you can write in the zinc is 2. So 2 plus. And carbonate valency is CO3 2 minus. Now in the last class I told that if their valencies are same, we can cancel out that one. And here next step, what is the next step here? We have to neglect the signs. Zn2 CO3 2. Now here valencies are same, we can cancel out. That one. Now we can write the formula. So if you cancel out the valencies, only remaining is Zn1 CO3 1. Is it? Now what is the next step? We have to cross multiply this valency. So zinc carbonate. Now zinc carbonate. So zinc carbonate formula. This is the chemical formula of the zinc carbonate. ZnCO3. ZnCO3. So this is how to write the chemical formula. Zinc carbonate. And one more. Ferric oxide. Ferric oxide. So one more compound. Ferric oxide. How to write the chemical formula of the ferric oxide? So first step we should write the symbol of these two elements. First one is the basic radical and second one is the acidic radical. So first write the symbol of the ferric. So we know that. So this is iron. Iron have variable valencies. One is ferric as well as the ferrous. Okay. So ferric. So but their symbol is Fe only. Iron symbol Fe and oxide. O. Oxide O. Now what is the next step? So first step you should write the symbol and next step you should write the valency. So F iron, it is a transition element. So write the valency of the iron on the top of the element and oxide. So we know that oxide, oxygen family. So 2 minus oxygen valency is 2. Oxygen valency 2. Now have to iron valency 3. Iron valency 3 plus. Iron valency 3 plus. Okay. So what is the next step? You have to neglect the signs. Fe3O2. Okay. Now what is the next step? We have to cross multiply their valencies. Now you can write the chemical formula of ferric oxide Fe2O3. Fe2O3. So this is the chemical formula of the ferric oxide. Ferric oxide. Okay. I think all of you understood this concept because I gave so many examples how to write the chemical formula. Understood? Then I will move to the next concept. To your textbook. Here, formulas they gave. So many formulas. Look at that. Here, so in your textbook, so many formulas are there. You can learn. Okay. Then only you can write the chemical formula of the compound. Otherwise, you can't learn. Okay. So you should learn this one. Chemical formulas. Monovalent electronegative, divalent electronegative, trivalent electronegative. These are the chemical formulas. You should learn this. Then only you can write the chemical formulas. Otherwise, we can't write that. Okay. Look at that. Here they gave so many examples. Chemical name, symbol with the charge, formula. Chemical name, symbol with the charge. These are the formulas. So you should learn this one. Okay. And in the back side also, look at that. Here also, so many are there. You should learn this one. Understood? Then only you can write the chemical formulas. Then I will go to the next concept now. Naming certain compounds. So next concept is naming certain compounds. Naming certain compounds. How to name the certain compounds? So some of the procedure is there. So that you have to follow to name the compounds. So what are the procedure? So first one, a metal and a non-metal. A metal and a non-metal. Metal and a non-metal. At that time, how to name the compound? One metal is there, one non-metal is there. So how to name the compound? First, metal is, so what is the first step? Metal you will write first. Then it is followed by the non-metal by adding IDE. By suffix adding IDE. So for the non-metal, you should add the suffix IDE. Okay. So for example, magnesium. So magnesium is a metal. Okay. Plus one non-metal I will write there. So Nitrogen. Nitrogen. So nitrogen is a non-metal. Magnesium is a metal. Nitrogen is a non-metal. After the react, so it will form magnesium nitride. Magnesium nitride. So you should add this suffix IDE to non-metal. So you should add this suffix IDE. So you should add the suffix IDE for the non-metal. Okay, for the non-metal, while writing the product, you will write the metal as it is, magnesium only. For the non-metal, nitrogen is a non-metal. For this one, you should add IDE. Suffix means at the end you will add. Suffix means at the end you will add. Okay, not in the front. So that is suffix. At the end you are adding, no, that is suffix. Prefix means before. Before you will add the, not at the end. In the middle you will add. So that is the prefix. Prefix. Suffix. End. This one is very important. Okay. You should understand that one. Suffix. You should add IDE to the non-metal. So now magnesium is a metal. Nitrogen is a non-metal. So it will use the formula magnesium nitride. Magnesium nitride. Okay, so this is how to name when metal and non-metal is there. One more example. This example 1, example 2. Similarly, magnesium reacts with the calcium plus nitrogen. So calcium is a metal, nitrogen is a non-metal. When these two reacts, so what is the formula now? What it will form? Calcium nitride. So similarly, what it will form? Calcium nitride. This OGEN is there now. OGEN is replaced by IDE. Similarly, here also OGEN replaced by IDE. In place of OGEN, you should add IDE, suffix IDE. So this is how to name the when metal and non-metal is there. So here calcium is a metal, nitrogen is a non-metal. So after reaction, the formula will become calcium nitride. Only for non-metal, we will add the suffix IDE. Okay, I think have you understood this concept? I'll move to the next one. When two non-metals are there, how to name the compounds? When two non-metals. Will go to the sir. So this is first one, metal and non-metal. So second one, two non-metals. So here one is metal, another is metal. In second one, two non-metals. At that time, how to name the compound? How to name the compound? For example, phosphorus chloride. Phosphorus trichloride. Chloride means PCl3. So this is the word name of the compound. This is the chemical formula PCl3. Phosphorus trichloride. So PCl3. How to name this compound? So you should add prefix tri. You should add prefix tri. Tetra, penta. So goes on like that. Okay. So PCl3 here, chloride, 3 chloride is there. That's why you should add tri, phosphorus trichloride. Similarly, PCl PCl5. Now look at that, PCl5. So here 3 is there, that's why prefix tri. Okay. Now here 5 is there, that's why prefix penta. What you should use? Penta. That's why phosphorus, penta, chloride. So PCl5. So what you should use? Prefix penta. Penta you should use because 5 is there. Penta. Okay. Prefix penta you should use that. Phosphorus pentachloride. Okay. When two non-metals are there, that time prefix you should use prefix tri, tetra, penta, like this you have to use them. Okay. So I think I have understood this concept. I'll move to the next. 2 elements and oxygen atom. Third one. 2 elements and oxygen atom. Oxygen. 2 elements and oxygen atoms. So 2 elements are there and 1 oxygen atom is there. For example, so first one I have considered as a 1 oxygen atom. 2 elements with 1 oxygen atom. 2 elements with 1 oxygen atom. How to name that compound? 1 oxygen. 2 elements with 1 oxygen element, 1 oxygen atom. 2 elements with 1 oxygen atom. How to name this compound? For example, NaClO. NaClO. Look at that. 2 elements. Sodium is 1 element. Chlorine is 1 element. 2 elements with 1 oxygen atom. At that time, how to name the compound? Look at that. Oxygen should present at the end of the compound. So this is the compound. Oxygen should present at the end of the compound. At that time, what you have to use there? So prefix hypo. So to name this compound, you should use prefix hypo. Prefix hypo is used to name this compound. How to name this compound then? Sodium hypochlorite. Sodium hypochlorite. Sodium hypochlorite. Chloride, this is also very important. Sodium hypochlorite. Chloride. So only with the 2 elements with only 1 oxygen atom. That time you should use prefix hypo. You should use the prefix hypo. Okay. So first element you should write the name. Then in the middle prefix hypo you should write. Then for the chlorine you should write chloride. You should write chloride. Sodium hypochlorite. Okay. Because here only 1 oxygen atom is there. Okay. We will not tell the oxygen name here. Sodium, chloride, oxygen, not like that we will tell. Okay. Because of that reason only, so some of the procedure is there to write the compound name. So what is the procedure? We will use prefix hypo. Hypo. That you have to use there. Okay. Sodium hypochlorite. When 1 oxygen atom is there. So next, when the 2 elements with the 2 oxygen atoms. 2 elements with the 2 oxygen atoms. At that time, 2 elements with 2 oxygen atoms. 2 elements with the 2 oxygen atoms. That time, for example, NaClO2. two elements with two oxygen atoms. Look at that. Sodium is one element, chlorine is another element. Two oxygen atoms are there. Two oxygen atoms are there. At that time, how to name the compound? You should add suffix ite. So use suffix ite. Suffix ite should be used. Suffix ite should be used. Okay. It means sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. Here we are not using hypo. If to use hypo, only one oxygen should be there. More than one, it means two oxygen atom. Two oxygen atom. That time you should use suffix ite. Suffix means at the end you will add there. Hypo prefix means in the middle. After writing one element name, you will write there prefix. Okay. So suffix at the end ite. Ite. So sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. Similarly, another example I will give there. KClO2. KClO2. So this is another example. Here also two elements with two oxygen atoms. At that time we will tell potassium chloride because K is there. So potassium chloride. Okay. Potassium chloride. For this one also, for only one oxygen atom, another example I can give that ClO. Here also potassium hypochloride. If only one oxygen atom is there, potassium hypochloride. Another example for the one compound containing one oxygen atom. So here also with the two oxygen atom, two elements with the two oxygen atom. At that time we will use suffix ite. Keep it in mind that this is very important. Okay. Then two elements with the three oxygen atoms. See, two elements with three oxygen atoms. So two elements with the three oxygen atom. At that time, example NaClO3. Look at that. Here O2, two elements with the two oxygen atom. Here two elements with the three oxygen atom. NaClO3. So how to name this compound? We should use suffix ate. Suffix ate should be used. Ate. If three oxygen atoms are there, we should use the suffix ate. So it means sodium chlorate. Look at that. Suffix ate. Three oxygen atoms. Suffix ate. It's very important. Ate, suffix ate. Sodium chlorate. And one more example. KClO3. So potassium chloride. Potassium chloride. Suffix ate should be used if three oxygen atoms is present. Understood? Okay. So next, if four oxygen atom is there, then how to name that compound? Two elements with four oxygen atoms. Four oxygen atoms. Two elements with four oxygen atoms. How to name this compound? For example, NaClO4. NaClO4. Look at that. Four oxygen atom is there. NaClO4. Four oxygen atom. So at that time we should use prefix per. Prefix per. Prefix you should use per. It means to name this compound sodium perchlorate. Sodium perchlorate. Okay. So you should use prefix per. After writing one element name sodium, you should write it's a metal. First you should write the metal name. Then prefix per is used. Perchlorate. Look at that. ATE. ATE. Don't write ITE. Perchloride. Don't write that one. Perchlorate. Prefix per. Then suffix ATE should be used there. Perchlorate. Okay. So when two elements with the 4 oxygen atom. Another example. KClO4. KClO4. Potassium perchloride. Potassium perchlorate. Potassium perchlorate. ATE. Be careful, students. ATE. Okay. I think have you understood this concept? I thought that you will understood. And then compounds, naming of certain compounds. Then naming of acids. Naming of acids. When binary acids are there, then how to name that acids? Naming of acids, for example, binary acids. Binary means bi means 2. Okay, bi means 2. Binary acids. Binary acids. Binary acids. It means HCl, HF. Okay, HCl, HCl. So HCl. So what you have to use there? So prefix we will use it as a hydro. So prefix hydro. We will use prefix hydro. Prefix hydro. Then suffix IC we will use there. So both also we will use that. Prefix hydro. Suffix IC. Suffix IC. Very careful about this one. Okay. So while naming the acids, binary acids, we will use prefix hydro and suffix IC. Then we will start with the first element name only. Okay. Hydro. Look at that. Hydro. Hydrogen is there, no? That's why we use hydro. So name now. Hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid. Prefix hydro. Okay. Suffix IC. Look at that. IC. Chloric. Hydrochloric acid. Okay. So prefix you should use hydro and suffix you should use IC. Hydrochloric IC. Hydrochloric acid. Okay. So binary acids. Binary means 2. So here 2 elements are there. One is hydrogen, another one is a chlorine. One is hydrogen, another one is a chlorine. Then second one, this is first one, HF. So here hydrofluoric acid. Hydrofluoric acid. HF. It is acid. Hydrofluoric acid. Hydro. Prefix hydro. Flow. So fluorine it is. That's why fluoric IC. So suffix IC should use that. Suffix IC. Hydrofluoric acid. So this is how to name the binary acids. Binary acids. Then compounds, polyatomics are there. When polyatomics, more than 2, that is a poly. Okay. Polyatoms means more than 2 elements present. That is a polyatomic. Here it is a 2 elements are there. That's why it is called binary acids. So you know that how to name the. So it is a polyatomic. Here more than 2 atoms are there. More than 2 elements are there. So 3 elements: hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen. Hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen. Clear? So 3 elements are there. That's why it is a Polyatomic. Polyatomic. How to name this acid? How to name this? I know that you already know that it is a sulfuric acid. But the name how came? The name sulfuric acid how came? That you should know that. Sulfuric acid. So in these type of acids, we will not start with the first element. We will not start with the first element. We will move to the second element. We will look to the second element, that is sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid. Second element present in the molecule and prefix hydro is not used. Here we will not use prefix hydro. We will not use prefix hydro. And prefix we will not use that, but we will use suffix. Suffix IC. Suffix IC we will use that. Prefix we will not use that. So we will name this compound polyatomic compound based on the second element. That is, so second element is a sulfur. So what you will have to use the suffix IC. So sulfuric acid. So IC. So suffix we should use, look at that. Suffix IC. So based on the second element. Yeah, second element is a sulfur. So that's why we should use suffix IC. So sulfuric acid. Understood? So and one more example. HNO3. So it is also a polyatomic compound. How to name this? So we will see the second element nitrogen. Okay, and we should use suffix IC. Now you can name that IC. Suffix IC. So it means second element is nitrogen. So suffix you should use IC, then nitric acid. So what is the name of HNO3? Nitric acid. Okay. So based on the second element, you should start there, but you should use suffix IC. So nitric IC. Look at that. IC, nitric acid. Okay. So this is how to name the acids. And one more example I will give. The third one. Example. H3PO4. Here middle element is phosphorus. Then how to name this one? Second element is phosphorus. So it is you should ask phosphoric acid. So suffix IC you should use there. Phosphoric acid. Suffix IC. So second element, from the second element you have to start the phosphoric acid. So IC. Now look at that. Suffix IC is used. Okay. So this is how to name the compound. So it is a polyatomic compound. H3PO4. Phosphoric. Based on the second element, we start the name. Okay. Phosphoric acid. So without that, you have to understand this one. Then move to the next. Tribal names. Tribal names means, so these compounds, they will not follow any systematic rule. That's why we will give the common name. Common name are there. So for example, so tribal name means these compounds, they do not follow any systematic method to name the compounds. That's why it's called as a tribal name. Tribal name is common names are there. For example, Na2CO3. So washing soda. So Na2CO3, sodium carbonate. So this is the common name is washing soda. So this is a common name. Okay, and one more, baking soda. So you will have this in your kitchen. You will use this one, baking soda. Baking soda. NaHCO3. Baking soda. So washing soda, Na2CO3. So its common name washing soda. It will, so tribal name is, there is no systematic method to name these compounds. So that is a tribal, we call it as a tribal names, common names. Okay, for example, Na2CO3. So this is the molecular formula, chemical formula. So it's a washing soda. Washing soda. Similarly, baking soda. Baking soda, NaHCO3. So common name is baking soda, NaHCO3. So in chemical we call as a sodium bicarbonate. So chemical name is sodium bicarbonate. So this one, sodium carbonate. So baking, washing soda, sodium carbonate. So common name, washing soda. Baking soda, common name. So common name is the baking soda, and its chemical name is sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate. Okay. So these are few examples. And NaOH. Sodium hydroxide is a chemical name. Okay. Sodium hydroxide. So what is the common name? Common name, caustic soda. So common name is caustic soda. So NaOH, common name is caustic soda. Okay. In general we call it, in chemical we call it as sodium hydroxide, but common name is caustic soda. So these are a few examples for the tribal names. Tribal name is certain compounds, they do not follow any systematic method to name that compounds. So that is such names are called tribal or common names. These compounds, they do not follow any systematic method. Okay, I will, in this today's class I will stop here only. Okay, so just recall what you learned in this class. So from where I begin, from chemical formula, I began that one. Okay, how to write the chemical formula. Ferric oxide. Look at now, once more, I am doing that one chemical formula, how to write the chemical formula of the ferric oxide. So, first you should write the symbols. Symbol you should write them. So, ferric oxide. So, what is the symbol for ferric? It means it is a iron. So, iron have variable valency, ferric and ferrous. But symbol is same, Fe only. Fe. Ferric, its valency is 3. Ferric valency 3. Okay. Ferrous valency 2. Ferric valency 3. So then write the symbol of oxygen. Oxide, O. Okay. So it is a ferric, no, as I told, ferric valency is 3. So next step, on the top of the element we should write the valency on the top of the element. So write 3 plus it is. And oxygen valency, we already know that its valency is 2. So 2 minus, right on the top of the element. And then in the next step, cancel out the signs. It means Fe3O2. Cancel out the signs. And the next step, cross multiplication of their valencies. So you know that. So valency of iron will go to the below right of the oxygen, and valency of oxygen comes to the below right of the iron. Now, so you can write the formula Fe2O3. Fe2O3. So this is how to write the chemical formula of the ferric oxide. Naming of certain compounds. Metal, so first one, metal and non-metal is there. So at that time what you will use there? So first you will write the metal, then it is followed by the non-metal. For non-metal you should add suffix ite. Okay. IDE. While naming the metal and a non-metal. So, for example, calcium plus nitrogen, it will give calcium nitride. Calcium nitride. Okay. So that is how to name the metal and non-metal is there. When two non-metals are there, for example, PCl3, at that time we are using prefix tri, tetra, penta. Okay. PCl3. So PCl3, 3 is there. That's why phosphorus trichloride. Phosphorus trichloride. PCl5, phosphorus pentachloride. Phosphorus pentachloride. Okay. Then next one, two elements with the oxygen, and be careful, oxygen atom should be present at the last of the compound. For example, NaClO, only one oxygen atom is there. At that time, we should use prefix hypo. Sodium hypochloride. Only one oxygen atom is there. That time we will use prefix hypo. Sodium hypochloride. When two oxygen atoms are there, at that time what you will use there? So suffix ITE. At that time we will use suffix ITE. Sodium chloride. When three oxygen atoms are there, at that time we will use ATE. So suffix ATE you will use there. So sodium chlorate. When three oxygen atoms are there. When four oxygen atoms are there, that time you will use per. Sodium perchlorate. So this is how to name some of the compounds. Okay. And the naming of acids, when it is a binary acids, we will use the prefix hydro and suffix IC. For example, HCl, hydrochloric acid. HF, fluoric acid, hydrofluoric acid. And how to name the polyatomic acids? So H2SO4. That time you will start with the name of second element. H2SO4. Second element is S sulfur. So sulfuric acid. And we will not use prefix hydro. Hydro we will not use there. Only you will use suffix ID. Okay. IC we will use there. Okay. Sulfuric acid. And you learned about the trivalence. It means common names. Some compounds do not follow any systematic method. That time we will give the common names. I told that sodium carbonate. It is a washing soda. Sodium carbonate. Na2CO3 and baking soda. NaHCO3. Baking soda and caustic soda. NaOH. Have a nice day.